Monday evening, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. That's on 1st of August, 2021. We have come a long way from 25th of March, 2020, when the lockdown was declared and we focused on basically education ecosystem, whether school education, higher education, technical education, vocational education, skill-based education. And we have taken all these systems of education in one eco-fraternity. And over here, during this particular time, we have been focusing on what could be done so that the education system can be empowered and at the same time, children do not have anxiety, stress, depression, difficulties, problems, anything of that sort. And we all should take care of best possible way. At the same time, we got to be doing hand-holding of the youth as well as our teachers, educators, counselors, and everybody. So ladies and gentlemen, we extend a very warm welcome Sunday evening. And today we are going to focus on new education policy, NEP 2020, the community engagement. And Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan, Professor of Marketing, Lamar University, Texas, USA. Professor Saab, if you have joined, please just give me a voice so that I can come to know that you're already here. Right. So ladies and gentlemen, let me just proceed with the slides and he would be joining us in a little while. We extend a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests from India as well as abroad, wherever they are. That is something very, very important, which we all have to understand. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about the new education policy 2020, and we talk about community engagement, as we all recall, just 3 days back, Honorable Prime Minister of India, he had given his special address to the nation because we completed 1 year of the launch of the new education policy 2020, and we had come to 29th of July 2021. So after 1 year, there were special deliberations and Honorable Prime Minister's deep interest into that. Today, we are going to talk about the community engagement. And that is something how all of us together, when we develop partnership, when we all are together, we are together engaged, we collaborate, we develop the passion, possibilities, connections, inspiring, promotion, we listen, we encourage, we build solution, we give the support. And everybody in the community, there is a momentum and there's a movement which takes on. Then I'm pretty sure the whole country will have a wonderful education ecosystem. So with these words, today is a very, very important day in the entire global ecosystem. And we extend you a very warm welcome. International Chamber for Service Industry, which is basically a link between India and the non-resident Indians. We extend you a very warm welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Happy International Friendship Day. Let's become friends, lifetime friends. Let's care for each other. See, no backtracking, no cheating, no wrong things. Do all good things to the human beings and be nice to the humanity, to the community, to the society. And the most important is be nice to yourself. When you are happy, the world is going to be happy. And when you are success story, the world is going to be your relative. You have seen sometime when you become a success story, people will come to you and they will say, oh, she's from our village. He is our first cousin. We were in the same school. We were in the same college. People will always talk like that. So you got to remember that you have to be a success story. Nothing like being successful in life. Please mark my words today when I'm talking to you. Before you get the United States professor, let me share with all of you today, make a commitment to yourself. No more wastage of time, not looking back, just looking ahead, looking forward, moving ahead, taking beautiful steps and becoming a success story in your life. And when you are going to be successful, the world is going to be happy and you are going to be happy. So let's move together, all of us. Happy International Friendship Day. And no more negative thoughts about anybody. Positivity, positivity, positivity. Positive thoughts, positive food, positive thinking, positive music, positive everything positive. When you are positive, the world would be positive and you would enjoy everything in this world. You got to live it that way. Now, what is community engagement in education? Okay, fine. Somebody is doing tourism, somebody is doing hospitality management, somebody is doing airline management, somebody is good at music, somebody is good at art, somebody is good at drawing, somebody is good at dances, somebody is good at something. God has given everybody some quality. संसार में कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है. There is nobody in this world who has not received some qualities, and everybody has got qualities. What you need is mentor, and what you need is coach, and what you need is somebody guiding you. But be loyal to a person who guides you. That is something very, very important. Because if you are not loyal to those people who guide you, who help you, then nobody can. Because one day you will fall. That is something very important which everybody has to take care. And in community, particularly during this Corona time, when we are passing through difficulties, when we are having challenges, try and be supportive of each other. Community engagement क्या है और community involvement क्या है और education क्या है, education का purpose क्या है. मुझे तो pocket money चाहिए और मुझे salary चाहिए. That is something very important for everybody. We all have to see it from that point of view. Okay, so my focus is also everybody should earn pocket money and everybody should get a good job. And there are no limits to success. You can travel world over, you can go world over, you can see the whole world. And when you travel, it will make you more humble. It will make you a better human being. You would do wonders on this particular planet. From today, this moment, no more time pass, focused, focused, focused. Okay. Now, there are some academic studies because हमको course pass करना होता है, graduation है, masters है, PhD है, whatever we are doing. But there's a practical life also. There's a practical experiences also in life. वक्त इंसान को बहुत कुछ सिखाता है. And then besides that, civic engagements are also there. You got to understand, चाहे आप student हैं, चाहे आप teacher हैं, चाहे आप educator, trainer, motivator, कोई भी हैं. You got to understand doctors हैं, nurse हैं, medical people हैं, आप yoga teacher हैं. You know that 3 lakh people have to go to Japan also from India. We have signed MOU. India has signed MOU with Japan. 3 lakh youth have to go from India to Japan. Why can't you be the one? Why can't you go over there? Look at that beautiful country. मैंने तो जितना ट्रैवल किया उनके वहां पर, सपोरो, हकाइदो, कोबे, क्योतो, फुकुओका, हिरोशिमा, नागासाकी, योकोहामा, Tokyo, and it's a beautiful country. And there is something known as Okinawa, and there is something known as Ikigai. So that is something you got to listen to music, you got to take good food, good health, and then you got to live longer and you have to enjoy your life on this planet. So community में क्या है? Community means all together as a teamwork, support for each other, like a group, cooperation, union, helping together, connectivity, connections, all of us together, that's a community. फैमिली का एंगेजमेंट क्या है? अभी आपको पता है कि कोरोना के टाइम में when children are at their homes and they are not in a position to go to their schools, colleges, institutions, तो उन बच्चों का बहुत बड़ा प्रेशर पेरेंट्स पर भी है. और जो टीचर्स हैं, they are trying their level best कि स्कूल खुलने चाहिए, इंस्टीट्यूट खुलने चाहिए, बच्चे आने चाहिए, लेकिन nobody knows कि थर्ड वेव आएगी कि नहीं. Nobody knows कि fourth wave आएगी कि नहीं. किसी को पता नहीं है. Nobody knows. Everybody is talking in हवा. सब हवा में बात कर रहे हैं, हवा हवाई और कुछ नहीं है। बिकॉज द रीजन बीइंग, बीमारी ऐसी है, प्रॉब्लम ऐसी है, डिफिकल्टी ऐसी है, नोबडी नोज अबाउट इट। तो फैमिली एंगेजमेंट की जब हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं तो हम 4 स्टेक होल्डर्स की बातचीत कर रहे हैं: एजुकेटर्स, फैमिलीज, providers, and community support. When we take that into consideration, it is something very important which we all have to understand. There is a supply side and there is a demand side. Demand है community का और education हमारा focused है। एंड सप्लाई साइड से कौन कौन लोग हैं? एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं, स्टूडेंट्स हैं, क्योंकि उनको अपना सीखना है। उसी के साथ साथ जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं उन सब के अंदर भी जो स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं उनको भी देखना है। नाउ फैमिली, एजुकेशन इकोसिस्टम एंड कम्युनिटी, इन तीनों को जब हम लेकर चलेंगे तो सपोर्टिव कम्युनिटीज कैसे बनेंगी, इफेक्टिव स्कूल कैसे बनेंगे, स्ट्रॉन्ग फैमिलीज कैसे बनेंगी। एजुकेशन के ऊपर अगर हम फोकस करते हैं तो कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट क्या होगा और इंडिया का क्या चैलेंज है? हमारा सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या है? हमारा चैलेंज हमारी पॉपुलेशन असेट भी है लेकिन डिफिकल्टी लायबिलिटी भी है। क्यों? क्योंकि अगर बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन है तो क्वांटिटी ज्यादा है, तो क्वांटिटी को भी संभालना है, क्वांटिटी को क्वालिटी भी देना है, और क्वांटिटी और क्वालिटी के साथ साथ हमको स्पीड भी चाहिए, because all three factors are interrelated. So distance education, e-education, digital education, online education, whatsoever you want to call it, a flipped learning or a hybrid learning or outside classroom learning or anytime learning, anywhere learning, any mood learning, whatsoever is there, I think somewhere in a community, we all got to think about it. What exactly is going to be the education ecosystem post-pandemic? There is something very important which we have to take care of. Today is the 1st of August. Our chamber has taken a pledge and we are moving in the direction. Can you see over here? Total what we have taken over here: making education relevant, teacher and youth empowerment with vocational skills and entrepreneurship. उसके नीचे की लाइन बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है: एक्शन प्लान फॉर इंडियन टूरिज्म। अगले साल 2022 में इंडिया विल कंप्लीट 75 years ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, और उसके बाद 2047 में 2047 इंडिया वुड बी सेलिब्रेटिंग 100 years ऑफ इंडियाज इंडिपेंडेंस सेलिब्रेशंस। सो रिवाइवल ऑफ टूरिज्म, क्योंकि टूरिज्म पैंडेमिक के टाइम में सबसे ज्यादा सफर किया है। टूरिज्म भी, होटल इंडस्ट्री भी, एयरलाइन इंडस्ट्री भी, और इनके साथ जो जो इंडस्ट्रीज जुड़ी हैं उन सब ने बहुत सफर किया है। सो वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस एंड आवर कंसंट्रेशन इज गोइंग टू बी टोटली, and we have already decided today, this is the 5th webinar since morning, and being the last webinar, I wish to share with all of you from tomorrow, everything is going to be having a fragrance of tourism, tourism and tourism. Paryatan, Paryatan and Paryatan. And there we would be talking about, at least you should travel to 5 places in northeast part of India. Honorable Prime Minister has told, हर एक भारतीय को कम से कम 15 जगह जाना चाहिए भारत में। तो उन 15 जगहों में से 5 जगहें आप नॉर्थ ईस्ट की भी ले लीजिए। अभी विमल जी ज्वाइन किए हैं तो आप उनके साथ क्या कहते हैं, पौड़ी गढ़वाल और देहरादून और यहाँ भी घूम कर आइए। और उनके अलावा और कुछ लोग जुड़े हैं, जिन लोगों ने ज्वाइन किया है उनके साथ भी घूम कर आइए। सो गोडेक तामो, kindly post it. Have you received your 500 rupees which you got day before yesterday as a winner? Because you were the winner day before yesterday. Have you received your 500 rupees? If you have got it, kindly post in this YouTube group so that everybody knows, and I also know that you have received your money. Okay. And to Nanlai, we will be sending in Meghalaya separately. Okay. Let's come on to further. We are going to focus only on revival of tourism, revival of tourism. Can you see Monday to Sunday what all we have got? I don't want to read out all this entire thing because it's quite long, लेकिन थोड़ा सा flavor आपको दे देता हूं। domestic tourism, wellness tourism, herbal tourism, cinematic tourism, spiritual tourism, ecotourism, rural tourism, agri-tourism, village tourism, youth tourism, sports tourism, Buddhist tourism, heritage tourism, occupational health and safety management systems and tourism, consumer awareness on travel advisories, what are the common problems and challenges with the hotel and tourism destination security, SWOT analysis of the tourism, development strategies, what we will talk about, service delivery channels, how they will change, we will talk about, best practices in tourism promotion, destination life cycle. इस तरीके से बहुत सारे areas हैं, 145 areas of tourism we would be covering. That is now from today onward till 15th August 2022. I'm very clear when I talk about 2022. That means when India would be celebrating 75 years of its celebration, our chamber is going to focus everything on that. And our efforts are going to be, बच्चे startup शुरू करें, entrepreneurship शुरू करें, और stand up शुरू करें. SC/ST बच्चों को हम अलग से मदद करेंगे, पूरा उनको हैंड होल्डिंग करेंगे. आप में से कुछ बच्चे जो अब्रॉड जाना चाहेंगे, उनको अब्रॉड भेजना चाहेंगे. That is the way we would like to work out the entire thing. और नीचे के भी जो एरियाज हमने लिखे हैं, now MSME सर्विस इंडस्ट्री, वहां पर भी ट्रैवल एंड टूरिज्म और मीडिया एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री है. वाटर मैनेजमेंट वो भी है कि होटल्स में, ट्रैवल प्लेसेस पर जहां जहां पर मॉन्यूमेंट्स हैं, उसका वाटर मैनेजमेंट कैसे होना चाहिए. फिर वेस्ट टू रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट, वो भी टूरिज्म का है. विमेन एंड चाइल्ड एम्पावरमेंट रिलेटेड टू टूरिज्म. आयुर्वेदा फॉर ग्लोबल वेलनेस, वेलनेस टूरिज्म के लिए. नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया, every Saturday evening you will have a special program, and the coming Saturday you will be meeting Miss Northeast, and she's also a Femina Meghalaya. You would be meeting her next Saturday 8 p.m. Okay, उसी के साथ साथ every Sunday morning 9:30 we will be taking you to United States Woodbury University. 11:30 every Sunday you will have cinematic tourism, and 8 p.m. you will have NRIs for education ecosystem. Now 27th September is being celebrated as World Tourism Day. So our chamber is developing the whole project E-Gurukul Gyan Yajna for service industry, and we are going to launch something very interesting for all of you. The best part would be everything would be free of cost. No money to be paid by anybody. No teacher will be paid and no student will be paying any money. It's going to be a different model we will share with all of you. So whatever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's start together. We have got a wonderful evening today, and we extend a very warm welcome. And let's start the evening. We have got Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji from the United States, from Lamar University, Texas, and he is specializing in basically marketing, and he has got a lot of work being done on education, social entrepreneurship, community engagement, couple of things which we have done together. So at the end of this program today, I'll give you a special surprise, and at this point of time, आपको सिर्फ ये रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे हम कि कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट एजुकेशन की जब हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं, after Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji would have spoken for about 10-15 minutes, then I would like कि आप लोग अपना views YouTube पर डालिए, आप लोग अपना views दीजिए, and we would like to know, because at present my challenge is 72,000 students, those have done hotel management, they are waiting, but all hotels are locked, all restaurants are locked, all hospitality establishments are locked. So how the things are going to be, which way they are going to be, a lot of challenges are coming on our way, but we will try whatever best we can be, we can do. So, you know, domestic tourism, we will focus, green tourism, we will focus, nature tourism, we will focus, rural tourism, we will focus, wellness tourism, we will focus, spiritual tourism, we will focus. शुरू में आप अपना नजदीक में जो भी जगह है, अपना फैमिली के साथ, फ्रेंड्स के साथ, टुडे इज इंटरनेशनल फ्रेंडशिप डे, सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू, शुरू में आस्ता आस्ता हमको खोलना है, डोमेस्टिक टूरिज्म, सब चीजों को लेकर चलना है, और उसके बाद आस्ता आस्ता बाकी चीज खुलेगा. मीडिया एंटरटेनमेंट इंडस्ट्री के साथ भी हम लोग बातचीत कर रहे हैं चेंबर से, that why do you go to Malaysia, Thailand, and other countries? Aapko jo chahiye, we would like to give you in India. And state governments, we are requesting to give subsidy to them. Why not they should do film shootings in India only instead of going abroad? So that's another area which we are focusing on. Now, from the PhD House Chamber of Commerce, Rajan Sehgalji, who joins us regularly, and we are thankful to him, along with Sudhir Soptiji. And he is very fond of holiday and leisure when he talks about golf tourism. Yes, that is something very nice. And Godek Tamo, thank you very much. He is writing, thanks for sharing, and you have got the money. I'm happy on that. Thank you very much. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed. And I request Professor Vivek Shankar ji to have his prayers, and thereafter we will start today's community engagement session. Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji, kindly unmute your mic, please.
Good evening, good morning. So first of all, Om Vagatta Viva Samprukto Vagatta Pratipatte Jagatav Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwara. So Gulshan ji, this we should celebrate today.
Yes.
The reason I say that is it has been 1 year since the new education policy has been announced.
Yes.
And a person no less than our Honorable Prime Minister took the mic and spoke about it. Now, I don't remember the Prime Minister talking about a lot of things, because a lot of things have been done and there is a lot of 1 year anniversary for a lot of things. But I don't know, maybe, but for somebody of his stature to pick up the microphone and talk about it for a long time is very symbolic. Because politicians and administrators, leaders, you rather than what they speak is important, but how they do it, and that symbolism, that's where you get a lot of message. So that tells me that the new education policy is very, very close, and it is having some potential for transformational potential, transforming the nation, transforming Bharat, and making it Atmanirbhar, Vishwaguru, all those. And I think you need to have good lofty aims, because as they say, only if you aim for the sky, you will at least hit the roof. So it is important. And so a lot of things, if I read the new education policy, what I get the idea is, previously education policy was like for a thali. Everything is set. You will get dal, you will get 1 katori dal, 1 katori sabji, 1 katori this, that. यहाँ पे आपको क्या मिल रहा है कि you have a lot more, what in America we call it as all you can eat buffet. जितना मर्जी खाइए, जब चाहिए खाइए. And so you are having a little more flexibility there. Of course, when it comes to eating now, there is a lot of evidence that says having 1 meal a day is very good. But I don't know if there is anything that says just coming to education just once in your lifetime and being done is good. In fact, there is more evidence that says the more you keep your cognitive faculties intact through learning and lifelong learning, that makes you a better person. And to that extent, I think there is a lot of flexibility that the new education policy gives. So that's just my observation, because it is important. This is 1 year has passed. A lot of deliberations have happened. And you have personally done the Sahasra, webinar, you've done that. So the Chintan Manthan that happens, and it's just a part of the process. We are hoping that something good comes, because when we do Chintan Manthan, of course, Amrit comes, but also a lot of wish comes. So, and hopefully, between those two polar opposites, you can get to a better world. That's how the idea. Now, just coming to the idea of community engagement. What is community engagement? See, if you have to understand, a lot of these things come from the US context. So, community engagement is something that now universities are using as a tool to differentiate themselves. So in the US scheme of things, you have a lot of universities. You have about 600,000. That's kind of, but more than that. So how do you meaningfully differentiate universities? So you have the Carnegie institution comes up with a classification. And so they have a classification called based on research. So R1 is a highly research intensive university. So they have several millions, even billions of dollars of research budget. And they go in that direction. So your Harvards and the Princetons and the UT Austins and, there's a whole, top schools everywhere, the elite of the elite. But, doesn't mean they are the only people who can exist. So then there is a newer system of classification. And one of the ways to do that is seeing, are you adding value? Especially if you're a regional school, you're a small school in an underserved area. One of the way you can differentiate yourself, one of the way you can define your mission is saying that, hey, I'm taking public money, because you have to understand, even today, education, there is a lot of funding. I think the funding is of a higher order in India. Even in the US, it's come down substantively, but still there's what we are all state supported, state funded institutions. So there is an intrinsic logic here that demonstrate your value to the state. One way, if you're a private school, you can look at the operating profits and all that, but that is not the only thing that education is all about. You have to show that there is a community aspect to it. So you have to show a multiplier effect, not in an economic sense alone, but also from a community sense. So that is how institutions started doing community engagement. The other idea was it kind of also allows you to there's no point. It kind of goes back to what we say. Education cannot be done in ivory tower. What is the use if you do everything in an ivory tower in a lab where people don't understand how to come back to real life? So that is how community engagement started. And so people were asked to create opportunities for community engagement in courses they teach. For example, let's say you're teaching a course in marketing. That's my home example. See if you can work with a not-for-profit. And that's one of the beautiful things about the United States is you have several not-for-profits, especially if you're in a smaller city. There is a lot of not-for-profit that want help. They don't have the resources. Most of the times they don't have that kind of a mindset. But they're happy if somebody can help them. So I used to teach a course in advertising and promotions. So always we used to work with clients. So I worked with the symphony, an orchestra. I worked with a humane society, a pet society, kennel club. I've worked with a thrift store for underserved people that was funded by a church. So basically, how do you make sure they get into better business? A lot of these businesses, they are operating at very, very low profit margins, serving very underserved communities. So can you make a difference? And so when students do that, they find that they also get the practical training. They're able to apply their theoretical knowledge in a practical framework, but you're also contributing back to the community that pays your bills. So that is one example. I've worked with, bunch of them. In fact, I worked with one client who was, they were all about doing a bicycle race every year to raise money. Then I worked with an underprivileged children's shelter. So these are the kind of examples. So that's my personal hands-on experience. There is also a concept called service learning, which is basically learning by doing service. They're kind of all interrelated. I'm not going to give a specific differentiation between the two for the purposes of our discussion today. If we do more substantive, in-depth discussions, we can go into more finer details. But this is the idea, that create an opportunity in your course for credit for students to go and work with the community. Now, that's not easy. And my friend Sanjay Mehta has been a much more bigger player in this thing. He has developed a scale to measure community engagement. So he has taken it further. He has actually made a contribution by developing a scale based on community engagement. And they've created a whole center at his school. And then I have another professor who's basically every year he teaches marketing research, and he does surveys for basically what happens is he signs up a client. So like a park or a university gym or a university canteen, rec facility, everybody, all of these are, remember, they're all units that want to understand how they are doing, but they don't have the resources. They can't go and hire a consultant like a McKinsey, or a Deloitte. They don't have the resources, but they will still benefit. And to me, If I can show my modern management tools or marketing tools or marketing research, and I can help these organizations get better, I'm actually adding value. So that's how my friend, he basically commissions a client. The students work with the client, collect data, and they analyze the data and present to the client. So this is typically the examples in community engagement. Now, I've had another professor in construction management. They work with lower privileged groups to build homes for them. So that could be the community engagement you do if you're into civil engineering or construction. Or, let's say you are in agriculture. You could work with underprivileged or small farmers to help them improve their productivity. So any of these things can be done. And of course, some of these things can become a lot more self-sustaining if you can create an extension center. So what's an extension center? Where you have outreach opportunities within the university that will help clients. So extension centers, and then you can have a research center that could come out of it. So there are various levels. So what I have done is more my course level, but if an organization can achieve, if there is more buy-in from the organization, you can even create research center and a center to facilitate it. So there are multiple things. Who benefit? How do each stakeholder, how do they benefit? So the clients typically, as I said, are small businesses. They benefit because they get free expertise, and that allows them to go up the value chain. They don't have to spend any money, but they're still benefiting, and that productivity is helpful for them. And it benefits the society because any organization becomes more productive. Obviously, it benefits the society. It benefits the students because they're getting hands-on experience. It benefits the academic institution because now they are not just seen as this isolated player, but they're part of the stakeholders in a community, and then they demonstrate value to the community. And remember, most institutions have been built by getting subsidized land from the community, subsidized grants from the government, and there is a lot of respect that you get because you're an educational institution. So how do you give back? So all of these things are giving back. So partly it is, you can argue, it is kind of a CSR for the educational institution. So these are the benefits. And of course, the other thing is it ends up, remember, I was listening to a debate in the parliament where one of the MPs was saying, we cannot have universities where people come and say we will do tukde tukde to Bharat. We should not have that. Believe me, when students go through a community engagement kind of an approach where they work with rural communities or institutions or urban institutions, not for profits, I think they will turn out to be better patriotic citizens because they will empathize with their communities better. And this also will import, remember, we need the development to go all over India. For example, Northeast has IIM Shillong and Northeast Hill University. How much multiplier effect these guys can affect if they were able to help the communities. So I noticed yesterday, one of the IIMs, they're training police constables in soft skills. I think this is needed. You cannot just be only producing white collar MBA students. There has to be, you have to diffuse all those management practices even to the bottom of the pyramid. And that is where community engagement is useful. That is where social, partly, some of these things can even can move into social entrepreneurship. For example, if students work with the community, they're able to identify some problems and some solutions. They can go and create a not-for-profit that focuses on that, and that becomes a social entrepreneurship. So there is a value chain that this community engagement can feed into. And at the end of the day, we have to produce better citizens, not citizens who are just going to be making money, which is important. Of course, citizens who are also not going to be in debt, but also citizens who contribute back to the society. I think that's where community engagement has a lot of potential. Great. So I just wanted to, give you my spiel on this.
Thank you. We have been joined by many, but some of them, those have put some endorsement. I'll just read it out. Arumugam Srinivasan ji is joining from Tamil Nadu, and he extends a warm welcome to you. And Mamta is writing inspirational session, and Gurinder ji is writing sharing lots of knowledge. And then thereafter we have got Amisha Katgar. Yes, earn and learn the things. Earn and learn the thing that we should follow and like it very much. Children should get their pocket money. They should earn and learn. Then Panditji is writing that learn first and then earn. Okay, Godek Tomo, the great businessman, takes long-term vision to success. Great. Roshni Beham. So government should help the people for the development who are not able to do anything. Julie Subba ma'am, community engagement is a must for everyone. Then Kim Kip Gen, great regards for the community-based approach. Then Deepa Hazarika, when the society grows, we grow along with them. And then, of course, again, it gives an understanding of the existing issues faced by the society. Great. So I just wanted to read out all the, the main agenda points, and hearty welcome once again to all the participants and to Professor Vivekji. Now, before we just go to the concluding remarks and close the session, something important which comes to my mind, I have got 5 things. There are 5 fingers and there are 5 elements with which the universe is made. I've got 5 things. Number 1, my challenge is quantity. That means India has got a large population by quantity. Second, I need quality. That is something again very important. Third, I need speed in this country. Number 4, post-pandemic and during pandemic, we need some pocket money earning coming to children somehow. They have to get a pocket money so that they can sustain. And post-pandemic, they should get a kind of a job where they need not to be dependent on their parents. Maybe for some time they are not in a position to help their families, but maybe in a couple of months, once they settle down in the new saddle, they can take care of things. And also my challenge is quantity, quality, speed, pocket money, and finally, entrepreneurship, because I'll be telling a lie to people if I tell there'll be more jobs, because everything is going to be so taco savvy that maybe in different fields, jobs will reduce. So new avenues which will open up, you got to skill yourself, you got to remain relevant yourself, you got to upskill yourself. It is going to be a lifelong learning. You might have to do relearning. You might have to add on learning, some new skills which you have to acquire. So all these challenges when we are taking up, how do you look at community engagement?
See, the beauty of community engagement is, I mean, naturally, I see some Roshni ji, she's kind of talked about the geographical proximity and special interest and all that. See, ways you make your jobs relevant is being of value to a certain group. So whether it is geography or whether it is special interest, what happens is if you start serving those groups, I mean, I'll use a marketing terminology. If they become your customers and you start getting some expertise there, you can create a brand for yourself, and that will make your jobs more stable. Because in the long run, job losses will happen, because when jobs become more commoditized, especially with the growth of AI and machine learning and all that, job losses will happen. So what do? You have to brand yourself. So if then you create a value for yourself, you build your own networks. What happens is, I'm not going to say your job, you will not lose your job, but I think what will happen is your career will become more resilient and you can bounce back. Because a lot of people lose jobs, but they also gain jobs. How do they gain jobs? Because people value them for their work ethic, for their deep expertise, for their domain knowledge. And those things, I think when you do something like a community engagement early on, you pick up those skills before and you have a better advantage. Remember, community engagement is something I'm talking about for folks who are in school. I'm not talking of people who are outside of school. So I think it gives you an early exposure to the workplace. That's really where I'm coming from. So we have to be careful. With somebody who's 15 years from, will that community engagement help? Even there, I've seen it helps because, like, for example, in the US, when I'm a professor, or even when people are working for profit organizations, they have to show that they demonstrate some time for service, community service. So when they do that is they serve on not-for-profit boards and all as a volunteer pro bono activity. And sometimes what happens is it allows you to build relationships outside of your circle. And so tomorrow, when let's say you may lose job, but because of your expertise or because of your character, you might have a better network to go back to and reskill and find a new job. So just my thing. So now, I'm not going to always look at everything from a job-centric standpoint. I'm also about building human capital. I'm also because if it was all about a job, we have to focus. I think we have to balance it out, because once you build character, what happens is it allows you to build more personal resilience. And even if you think your job is going away, you will be a lot more better in terms of your creativity, or you're better in terms of your networking, that you'll be able to find another job.
Great. So I'm sure that all the participants, those who have joined today, you understand the value of the community engagement. You appreciate what is exactly needed post-pandemic, and community engagement is going to play a very important role for all of us. And sooner we get into those arenas, it would be much better, because we got to cooperate, we got to collaborate, we got to support, we got to develop small ecosystems, maybe 40, 50 families in one cluster together in one area. And all of them, they got to developing an ecosystem where everybody is supporting each other, something of that kind, which we come over there and develop over there. Thank you very much. If any closing remarks you would like to give, thereafter, then we will close the session.
Anyway, Gulshanji, I just wanted to reflect, we are almost about 10 months in terms of our engagement. But my only thing, I think, is at some point we should move further on term, this community engagement. We have done something on social entrepreneurship. We have done something on research. We need to also seek out people who want to work with us. So whether it's research or whether it is developing, how do you integrate community engagement into the classrooms? We need to also get into some live engagements, and then create some case studies, because we have discussed a lot of these things, but we also have to create some case studies where we can show that these things work in practice.
Yes.
And I'm seeking interest from the audience, from you. How do we design community engagement programs in India?
Yeah. For example, you remember that today's 1st of August, I made a commitment to you that from 1st of August, we will get back. And that's why before you have come, I've shown the complete slide, how everything related to focused approach, focused goal, and research is a very, very important part and a component of the entire thing.
Absolutely. And, I think we have a lot of ideas. Even within tourism, there is plenty of opportunities for community engagement that students can go after. So, maybe we could do a sector-wise opportunity for each of the sectors in the coming weeks. Again, the format we are going now, it's kind of a very capsule-based approach, short and sweet, because remember, I always believe in the marketing adage, especially if you're from advertising, they say less is more. I want to give a few nutshell nuggets, and then hopefully students, the audience can chew on it and come back and say, hey, we are there. But thank you, Gulshanji. It's always a fun pleasure to be with you.
Thank you. There is somebody who is a skill trainer, ITI, who is writing ITI supporting ecosystem where everyone helps their fellow counterparts is achieved only in cooperative systems. Then Julie Subba ma'am, all we done, she's writing over here, all we have done and benefited during the second phase of the COVID is not by government. It's all because we community helps each other during that difficult times. Julie ma'am, I'm sorry, I beg to differ with you. Government has done a lot, whatsoever they could do. But yes, community support is also there. It goes hand in hand. We all got to support each other. And
sir,
yes.
May I add here? Sir, I think it is, what is government? A government is not diverse from the community. A government is your part of your own community. A government is created from your own community. So to kind of look at government and community as kind of supplements is something a little different, which I think I would rather say, if you have a robust community, from that a good government will come. And what can government do? at most levels, government can create macro policies, can create the hardware. The government can create the hardware. They can give you the raw material, but it is up to us. So they can give you the sabji and the atta, but you have to go and make the sabji and you have to make the roti. That is where the community engagement comes. We are the software. So I think it's a complementary thing we have to look for. So rather than they say the government does nothing, government does something, government does everything. Rather, I think we should say, we should really work with and make it better, because
all of us we should do together. All of us we should do together.
Yeah, because the idea is, that everybody has a role to play, is what I understand.
Ultimately, it should be win-win situation.
Yeah, the government is not different from the community, is what I want to say.
Yes.
Come from the community.
Yeah. Then skill trainer ITI is writing. We have to move out of that is repeated. Roshni Biham ma'am, a group of people is the most fundamental of essential characteristics of community. The group may be small or a large, but community always refers to a group of people. Let's promote community engagement. Great. And Godek Tamo, community engagement is one of the backbone of the nation building. Yes. Thank you very much. That something is wonderful. All of you have written, and people, those are posting now. You can post your views. We can give another 2-3 minutes to you, because there got to be one winner today. Today is International Friendship Day, and anybody who is the winner being declared by, okay, instead of one, we can have two. Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji can have two winners. Declaration, and we give them 500 rupees each today as a pocket money, because all the time I think only one thing, nothing else: how younger generation should get pocket money, and thereafter how do they get a good job. So that is something very important which we all have to
Gulshan,
yeah.
Gulshan, one younger generation, we hope we give them pocket money and they will make pocket full of money.
Yes.
That should be their motto. So our goal is to give them a seed. We should eat a tree.
Yes, that is the way we should work out, because anybody struggling, anybody having challenges and difficulties, that gives me too much of pain. And at this point of time, I asked this question today to one of these sector skill council CEO, and I told him, I don't need anything. I just have got one question to ask from you. 72,000 students, those are waiting after their completion of the hospitality management courses, where they should go, when all the hotels, all the restaurants and all the places, thereby you give me an idea what can be done in organic farming, nutrition, because all these people, they learn chef job. They learn cooking, catering, everything, serving, and other skills. They pick it up over there. Some of them, those are smart. They have picked up chocolate making and bakery items, other things. They are thinking on those lines. But my question is, once again, quantity, my country quantity. And then I need quality. And then I need speed. And then I need my children pocket money. And then final, your change statement now, pocket full of money. That is afterwards. So all the 5 elements have to go together.
In fact, when you go to some of these stations, they say, Bhagwan ko aap 1 rupee doge, wo 1,000 rupee dega. हम अपने बच्चों को 1 रुपए देंगे, उनको 1,000 रुपए कमा लेंगे. That is we should believe in them. That is what I know.
Yes. So what I would, before we close the session, if you would like to give reward to anybody, all participants, we can give you another 2-3 minutes. You can post your views, you can post your comments. And today is the International Friendship Day. Let's become friendly. Let's become true friends. No more cheating, only good relations and good thought processes. And remember, everybody needs a support in this universe ecosystem. You need good support, you need decent support, you need quick support, and all support mechanism is required during this COVID and post-COVID. That is the way, and you all have to be success story. That is something very important which we have to work out. So we are giving you 2 more minutes. If you want to post any comments, anybody wants to write anything on community engagement, anything related to community engagement, you're more than welcome, you can. And let me just give you a little surprise, Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji, all the way, because it's early morning for you over there. And over here in India, it's evening. So I just give you a small surprise. And let me see if I can. Yes, I can. I will play for 30 seconds by the time people are writing. And let's get into some little mood so that on the International Friendship Day, आधा है चंद्रमा रात आधी, आधा है चंद्रमा रात आधी, रह न जाए तेरी मेरी बात आधी, मुलाकात आधी, आधा है चंद्रमा रात आधी, रह न जाए तेरी मेरी बात आधी, मुलाकात आधी, आधा है चंद्रमा. That's all. I just wanted to give a surprise.
Absolutely, no.
With musical note, because that was V. Shantaramji from Southern India, who had made that movie Beautiful Navrang way back, in 1963. Okay. Some more people to write, please. Some more people to write. We are waiting. We are waiting. It all depends. Some of them. We want to have 2 winners this evening. We are waiting for that only. We want to close the session. Or if you want to declare, Professor Saab, we can declare. So last 1 minute before we close this session. I hope you all have posted whatever you wanted to. Kindly quick rush, because community engagement, anything you want to write, anything you want to post, and nowadays अकल वो क्या बोलते हैं, नकल के लिए भी अकल चाहिए. Everything is available on Google. You should know what to pick up, where from to pick up, how to pick up, which way to write. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I would request Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji, early morning, right over there in United States, just to read out 2 names, 2 winners, and we give them 500 rupees each as a pocket money. Professor Saab, let's close the session. You have to unmute your mic. You have to unmute your mic.
Roshni has been very active.
Roshni. Okay, Roshni Biham. Okay. Heartiest congratulations. Great.
And then Julie Subba ma'am.
And Julie Subba ma'am. Okay, great. Thank you. There are 2 winners, and Professor Saab is working towards women empowerment. Both the ladies are the winner. Male folk, why don't you take active part? What has happened to males? It's the ladies, those are dominating. It's the girls, those are dominating. You should also take a part. Okay. So Julie Subba ma'am and Roshni Biham ma'am, heartiest congratulations to both of you on the International Friendship Day. You get 500 rupees each, your pocket money. And let's meet tomorrow evening. And from tomorrow, boom, boom, everything is going to be related to surroundings of tourism. We meet tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. And our research project also starts from today, like Professor Vivek Shankar Natarajan ji told me. And we committed to him that we with the United States, and it's my dream project, more and more children should get scholarships. More and more children should get jobs. More and more children should move out, see the world, travel, and start getting focused for your career, for your future. Life is not time pass. You have to understand. और 3 चीजें हैं हिंदी के अंदर बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग बिफोर आई क्लोज डाउन. समय, सेहत एंड संबंध. समय, सेहत एंड संबंध. इन तीनों पर कोई प्राइस टैग नहीं होता, और जब आप इन्हें खो देते हैं तब इनकी कीमत समझ आती है. समय, सेहत एंड संबंध. Don't lose your time, don't lose your health, and don't lose good friends who really support you, who really care for you. Good relations are very important. Try and have good people around you who are really genuine and those are really supportive. That is the way we would like to move ahead. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot for joining today. And let's have the closing prayer, Professor Saab. It's 8:59 and we have come to 9 p.m.
Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti, shanti, shanti. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wish you a great day ahead. Lots of blessings to your daughter. Stay fit, stay fine, and you have got a great day ahead. Let's plan it further, what all we can do. And yes, next week, there is going to be a special session for you. Accounting, you know, when you talk about accountancy, and like you have got a chartered accountant, company secretary. So accounts are very important everywhere. And all of us, we have got a psychological fear, including me, accountancy. I will also join a session with you next Sunday evening. We'll have a special session for all of you on accountancy,